Hi there, this video is live, super by-election, Conservative loss, video, UK24.
These by-elections in, and both of those
Time's down there.
Contexts as well.
And the date today is the 16th of February, Friday, 2024, guys. Good morning.
Results themselves, as you just talked about to the viewers, also the turnout figures being so substantially down in both of the by-elections, about half.
What a surprise, mate. I think there's a word for this.
Okay, which of these statements don't you
Sling your hook, get out of the house, get out, London 10th Downing Street. You're finished.
Political analyst John Curtis says the Conservatives are in deep, deep electoral trouble.
Aye.
A government that is staring defeat in the face. Do you
won't deny it.
Those statements?
They won't. They won't.
I think.
Or will they deny it?
You can sort of talk it up as much as you like. There's no denying that these are not great results for the Conservative Party. What I would say though is that we've seen turnout figures, very substantially down as well. We've not seen a massive switch from the Conservatives to Labour or anybody else. What we've seen is a huge number of people who had voted Conservative in 2019 staying at home. And if you look at the both results, I think particularly in Kingswood, actually, significantly fewer people voted Labour this time than they did at the last general election. So this is very much, I think, people holding their votes at home rather than going out to make a positive decision either way.
But there were some who turned out who voted Conservative or have voted Conservative before, and analysis of the data suggests that there were switches to Labour from the Conservatives, but there are also switches to Reform UK as well. And Reform has said its ambition is to block Conservative victories in the general election. Do you think that with one of these by-elections where Reform is standing, that they have a point? They have a chance of doing that, of fulfilling that ambition?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. That is Reform's ambition. Their ambition is to block Conservatives winning seats and therefore put Keir Starmer into Downing Street. They've made it very clear. You've read out that statement from them. That's what Reform UK want to do. They want to see Keir Starmer in Downing Street and not have a Conservative government.
But they're also taking votes away from the Conservatives. They're achieving that, aren't they? So you're losing votes to Reform.
I think it's very clear, as the statement from Reform said, that they're trying to block Conservatives winning seats. You're absolutely right. They want
your days are numbered, mate. Your party's finished. You know it.
Putting Keir Starmer in Downing Street. It's quite clear from the results today. Reform aren't challenging realistically for seats. This next general election is going to be a battle between Conservatives and the Labour Party. What Reform are going to do, as they've said themselves, is going to help put Keir Starmer and Labour into Downing Street. And when we're looking at Labour at the moment, over the last few months, what have we seen? Well, it's going to be very much back to square one when it comes to anti-Semitism in the Labour Party.
Hold on a moment.
Hang on, mate.
We will be interviewing Sir Keir Starmer and putting challenges to him. He'll be joining us on the sofa in just under an hour. But I want to talk about the Conservative Party with you, the Conservative Party chairman, if that's okay. You spoke about Reform UK and its ambitions. Okay. But the fact is, it's taking votes from the Conservatives. Jacob Rees-Mogg, high profile, the Conservative Party, has said the right wing must reunite to stop Starmer. There is lots of speculation that those on the right of the party very unhappy, and that Rishi Sunak now needs to appease the right of the party. One, to prevent further division, but two, to have a clearer picture and to present that to the electorate. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's appropriate?
Look, I was out campaigning in Kingswood with Jacob. I think he's totally right that if the right of the British politics and the centre and centre-right, that broad church which is the Conservative Party, doesn't unite, then we will see a Labour victory, as the Reform person you mentioned earlier spoke of.
So how does it unite?
A Labour victory.
How does Rishi Sunak unite the party?
Well, I think we've got to push forwards with that plan that we've got at the moment, which is around getting inflation down. We've seen that made substantial progress so far. Still further to go.
The party isn't arguing about inflation.
Well, I think he is arguing about the economy and what we're doing with that. We've started to see inflation come down.
Technically speaking, we're in a recession now, mate.
Only when we've got inflation down sustainably have we been able to start making some of those tax cuts that I want to see.
Right of the party, and please tell me if I'm wrong.
My God.
I think, well, if you let me finish, we've started to see sustainable tax cuts. We can only do that when we've got inflation down. We've seen inflation coming down. The Bank of England predicting it's going to be at 2%. That'll hopefully see interest rates come down, which is incredibly important for families.
Too little, too late. Sorry, mate. It's over.
I want to see sustainable tax cuts. We can only do that on the basis of lower inflation and when it's affordable. And I think we've started to see that move in the right direction. And I think when we go to the country...
They only started doing this all sort of stuff in the election year. How ironic.
I'm going to interrupt you, Richard Holden, because, for example, popular conservatism, one of the issues there is wanting lower immigration, wanting illegal immigrants deported, claims that a nanny state is doing more harm than good. It's not about inflation. These are issues that are dividing the party and haven't been addressed. Are they going to be addressed? I think earlier in the Telegraph you were saying there are issues to be thrashed out. Are those some of the issues that need to be thrashed out?
What I would say on all of those things is when let's look at immigration, for example. We're actually, as a party, have just put forward the biggest package restricting immigration, both legal immigration, with all of the changes we've made to family visas coming with students. I think that's been a huge welcome package, obviously opposed by the Labour Party. When it comes to dealing with illegal migration, we've already seen progress there. We've seen the crossings on the small boats down by over a third. All the Conservative MPs voted for further measures on that at second. Nobody opposed that at second reading, but the Labour Party did oppose it. We're quite clear, I think, where the direction of travel we're wanting to go in. Obviously, I want to go further. That's why we've got that Rwanda bill in the House of Lords at the moment, in order to provide that effective long-term deterrent. I know that Labour and the Lib Dems will oppose that, but I think it's something that actually on the other side, Conservatives can all get behind. Proper controls on immigration so that we control our own borders, all part of that long-term plan the Prime Minister is putting forwards for the country. And I think an important part of that is obviously controlling immigration.
Okay.
An important part of that is also ensuring the economy is in a good place so we can continue to
right, my friend.
investment into public services like
right.
NHS that we've seen over the last few years as well.
Do you personally believe that Rishi Sunak will win the general election?
I believe we have every opportunity to win the next general election. I think we definitely can do it, but that means we've got to come together as a party, unite in the best interest of the country, deliver on those things that we've promised.
Fantasy,
We've started to see some very good
wishing there.
in some of those
No
areas.
chance.
Inflation's down from 11.1% to 4%. We needed it to go further. We'll only do that with sound management of our nation's finances, which is what you'll get under the Conservatives. I want to see tax cuts. We've seen that already with our national insurance tax cut at the start of the year. I want us to go further. We can only do that if we've got a sustainable economic position. And when you juxtapose that to what Labour's offering, riven by anti-Semitism, that massive U-turn on the £28 billion last week, I don't know what the Labour Party stand for.
Well, we shall find out. We shall find out, because we are talking to Sir Keir Starmer in 45 minutes.
Aye.
We'll talk to him about that.
We'll find out soon, mate.
Richard Holden, Conservative Party.
There you go.
Thank you very
I hope you
much
liked the
for
video.
coming
Please
this
subscribe to
evening.
my channel on Sign Gems. May the force be with you always. This is my friend Parking Jim, every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Surrey Hills Radio Station Show, ITF Live thing, 3 to 5 p.m. And this is my friend Shane for the Years, every Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. live on the Surrey Hills Radio Station Show every Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And this is my friend John and Lars Show every Sunday at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. live on the Waking Radio Station Show on Lars Show every Sunday at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please subscribe to on Sun Jones. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to on Sun Jones. I'll be happy. Bye.